Neo has competition.
Whoa, my gosh. Take that guy to the limbo. That's flipping insane. He's on the struggle bus for real, and other jaw-dropping moments that will have you saying, come on! Today we're breaking down and reacting to, from what I am told, are the luckiest people on the planet. All right, let's dive right in.
Skydiver had a seizure and he is heading for his demise. But look what happens. The author of this video manages to catch him and get him the help he needs.
Whoa. Impressive, quick thinking. Seizure, right? People have heard of seizures. There's multiple different kinds. There's the classic one that we always think of, the tonic-clonic seizure, the grand mal seizure, typically where the body's either very tense or you have myoclonic jerking. People typically don't just have seizures out of the blue. People typically already have a diagnosis of a seizure disorder and you're already taking medications. In this situation, why would you have a seizure? Either stress, lack of sleep, maybe alcohol or different substances, missing your medications.
Oh no!
Whoa!
Oh my God!
Look at that intensity. This is quite common in Southern California where I live, where there's a lot of sharks in the water. Typically, they're just a little bit further out from where individuals are, and they typically don't really want to mess with people. What the heck do you do if you get bitten by a shark? Get out of the water, get to the hospital. The teeth of the shark are super sharp, so it can cause people to lose limbs, get big chunks of tissue ripped out of them. Basically, at that point, it's just first aid, right? All of you guys out there can do this. Get the individual out of the water, stop the bleeding, and call 911. Oh! Wait, he caught it? Very close. We see this a lot in baseball. That ball is very hard. Basically, if that hits you in the head, it can cause a skull fracture. It can take off your skin, cause a laceration. A lot of times you think laceration, somebody gets cut, but blunt trauma actually causes the skin to split open. You can have an underlying skull fracture underneath, and then we worry about massive amounts of trauma to the head leading to bleeding within the skull, meaning a subdural hematoma, an epidural hematoma, or even a subarachnoid bleed. Most of the time, this type of trauma will cause a subdural, but it could cause an epidural, especially if it hits that middle meningeal artery, which is on the side of either part of your head. Oh! Wow. Talk about timing. Probably would have been knocked over or knocked out. Unlikely to cause potentially death because it was then blocked by the height of the car, so it would knock you down to that level. But you worry about cervical compression fractures. You worry about obviously head injuries, skull fractures. And then if somebody has any pain anywhere along their spine, you got to get an x-ray all the way down, just because the compressive force can spread the energy down the spine. And you just don't want to miss something that's maybe down into the sacrum, even though you got hit on the top of the head. Oh! Holy cow. Oh! I mean, he's wearing his helmet. He would have smacked his head on the helmet, but you always worry about neck injuries in that situation as well. He's wearing a helmet, right? So protecting that noggin, but that noggin is attached to his neck. And if that gets caught on the lip, that amount of speed, you increase the risk of a spinal cord injury in the neck. Besides fractures, could you actually have an internal decapitation, chopping off your head, but without chopping off your head? So please be careful. Understand the risks and the benefits of what you're actually attempting. Oh, 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 oh. How is that even possible? I see dislocation, fracture, sprain, multiple different places, these loafers. That's why it's really important to continue to exercise, do things that increase mobility. That way, when things like this happen, you're able to use your body to keep you from falling. Otherwise, you fall, you can fracture a hip. If you fracture a hip, especially if you're elderly, your mortality at 6 months significantly increases. So please be aware of that. Please be careful. Whoa, where the heck did that tire just come flying off of? I mean, it is pretty dangerous to be that close to a road where people are going that fast. I'm glad that they were paying attention and not trying to stop that tire, because that tire is pretty damn huge. The speed that is coming at you could actually cause significant amount of trauma, injury, and potentially could kill somebody. A lot of times we see people get run over by a car. Their foot gets run over, maybe some soft tissue injury. You don't actually see that many fractures. People tell me they got run over by a car and that they're okay. Oh, jeez. Oh, don't be cool. Don't be cool like that. Oh, nice. Look at this hammer. It's big. It's got weight to it. It could cause a lot of injury. I've seen people on construction sites come into the ER with pieces of wood through their tissue, nails in them. The biggest issues are like nail guns, you know, nails under high pressure when they miss. I've seen it stuck in people's skulls, in their knees, in their arms. Most of the time with hammers, it's a blunt trauma injury. And what we'll end up seeing is fingers get all messed up and their end of their fingers just get demolished.
A pedestrian that managed to run away from a car and a bus can totally run a marathon.
What? How lucky is this? Literally just missed being clobbered. I used to work in a hospital near a highway and people got hit all the time. We call them pedestrian versus car. There's not a lot of good outcomes when that happens. You get tossed because of the force, usually land hard on your head on concrete or the asphalt, that hard ground, and it's a skull fracture, brain bleed. And basically you protect your airway, decompress the blood in the brain if you have to, and time. You have to wait and see if they're alive and they still have their breathing apparatus involved and they're still having a heartbeat. Then the next step is, when are they going to get better? How are we going to know what type of damage is going on? And we tell patients all the time, it's just time.
Now, Neo has competition.
Whoa, my gosh. Take that guy to the limbo. Obviously, I'm not an MMA fighter, boxer. Taking your own foot to somebody's jaw, yes, you might knock them out, but how does it relate to your foot? Do you cause fracture to the metatarsals? Do you jack up your foot? Is there broken bones? Do they have to go to the hospital after these events to see if they broke anything? Most of the time, fighters in these situations, a lot of head trauma, they're getting potential fractures to the face. You don't see as many fractures to the jaw. It happens more in real life than I think in these events.
This guy just saved the party.
Whoa!
And then this got one.
Holy smokes. If he would have fell over holding that, hopefully would have flipped and landed on his feet, but significant increased risk of a lot of injury, trauma. Imagine if there was a spike on the rail, you might impale your side there. Probably has some ecchymosis or bruising to the abdominal wall. Probably is going to be pretty sore thereafter, but didn't let go. Good strength. If there wasn't a rail that changed angles there, would have slid all the way down to that concrete. Would have caused a significant amount of pain.
Sometimes a stunt doesn't go the way it should. Just imagine what would have happened to the guy if he didn't catch the girl. We don't even know which one of them is luckier.
This happens more often than you think when people are trying to do these cheerleading / gymnastic type moves. Thank goodness, aware, and there's a spotter, okay, to help protect somebody from falling. They caught this individual just in time before smacking the head on the ground, and even the arm, left arm, you worry about it being in a weird position that could snap, dislocate, fracture. You could also injure the knee, cause a disruption of any of the ligaments of the knee as you're trying to hold somebody from falling. But again, it'll save you from getting a massive amount of head injury, even though you may injure a different area. Thank goodness everybody in all of these videos ended up being quite safe. Please be aware of your surroundings. Make sure you understand the risks of what you're doing. So if you guys enjoyed this, definitely check out this playlist right here. Make sure you binge watch everything, and do me a favor, make sure you subscribe, turn your bell notifications on, and hit that like button for me. Thank you so much for watching, and stay healthy, my friends.